She had this baby a week ago, and nobody's seen any pictures of them going into the hospital, leaving the hospital, seeing her in the hallway. Nothing. No pictures have surfaced. Something is not right.
Hold on to your seats, folks. Gypsy Rose Blanchard is back at it again, stirring up controversy with her latest social media posts, and it's raising more eyebrows than ever. This time, her postpartum story is the one taking center stage, and just like everything else in her life, it's raising more questions than answers. Let's break it down and dive into why her own words and the actions of those around her are only adding fuel to this ongoing fire.
I remember when I first became a mother. Now I have a lot of kids, I have 10 kids, but I remember my firstborn coming into this world, and it was almost like a natural high. I remember for the longest time, I was elated.
It all started when Gypsy proudly shared her postpartum recovery journey on social media, but instead of getting the sympathy and admiration she likely expected, her post has only left fans scratching their heads. Why? Well, according to many, the circumstances surrounding her supposed delivery just don't add up. For one, no one reportedly saw her at the hospital. No photos of Gypsy, no family members, and not a single image to back up her claim of having given birth. This is particularly odd for the Blanchards, who've never been shy about sharing the proof when it comes to their big life events. But this time?
I couldn't get over the love I felt for this little person. I couldn't get over, like, wow, I made her. I'm somebody's mom. That feeling to me was just, I'll never forget it. And for Gypsy Rose to not make a statement.
The supposed birth event came and went without a trace, leaving fans feeling skeptical and, frankly, confused. Now, let's talk about the most eyebrow-raising part of all, Gypsy's postpartum recovery video. When viewers watched, many couldn't help but notice something strange. Gypsy looked completely unchanged.
About her baby, but selfishly make a statement about how good she looks 6 days postpartum is exactly that. To me, that is completely selfish. I couldn't talk about how much I loved my baby enough.
Her belly showed absolutely no signs of having just given birth, and fans were quick to point out that, for many, their postpartum bodies were visibly affected in the days following childbirth. Gypsy, however, looked as though she had skipped right over that stage entirely. Now, every woman's recovery is different, but even the most generous observers couldn't ignore the glaring discrepancy.
I remember when I first became a mother. Now I have a lot of kids, I have 10 kids, but I remember my firstborn coming into this world, and it was almost like a natural high. I remember for the longest time, I was elated.
And here's where it gets even more bizarre. Her postpartum belly looked identical to her so-called pregnancy belly. Was it possible her entire pregnancy had been a carefully crafted illusion? Some critics are now speculating that Gypsy might have faked her pregnancy, using oversized dresses and strategically placed props to create the illusion of a baby bump.
I couldn't get over the love I felt for this little person. I couldn't get over, like, wow, I made her. I'm somebody's mom. That feeling to me was just, I'll never forget it. And for Gypsy Rose to not make a statement about her baby.
As if that wasn't enough to raise suspicions, Gypsy's actions seemed to support these doubts. While she had no problem lifting her tank top to show off her postpartum body, she never once revealed her bare pregnant belly during the months of speculation about her pregnancy. Instead, she consistently wore oversized clothing, which many believe was an attempt to obscure her figure.
But selfishly make a statement about how good she looks 6 days postpartum is exactly that. To me, that is completely selfish. I couldn't talk about how much I loved my baby enough.
It's no wonder that fans are questioning the authenticity of her entire story. And then there's the matter of Gypsy's inconsistent statements, which only add more fuel to the fire. One person who's been vocal in defending Gypsy is Julie.
Has now released the details of her daughter's birth. She had her baby 1 week ago today, and she named her Aurora Reina. Gypsy uploaded a video yesterday showing what she looks like 1 week out from having the baby, and in the comments section, she decided to update us on exactly how the birth went.
a content creator who has been trying to clear up the confusion. But even Julie got caught in a major contradiction. She boldly claimed that Gypsy had a natural birth because Gypsy had supposedly told her she pushed out the baby in 15 minutes. But hold on, Gypsy herself also mentioned that she received an epidural during delivery, which
Says, I had the best birth experience. I went into the hospital 6 centimeters dilated. I had my epidural and a few hours later was numb and pushed for 15 minutes. Didn't feel a thing. She's a healthy baby girl. I've been seeing a lot of comments talking about Gypsy having a C-section, but she has never said that. She actually had a natural birth. I'm not sure where this rumor came from, but it's definitely a rumor.
as we know, numbs the lower body and removes the pain of labor, technically disqualifying the birth from being classified as natural. In her own words, Gypsy said, "I had the best birth experience. I went into the hospital 6 centimeters dilated, had my epidural, and a few hours later was numb and pushed for 15 minutes. Didn't feel a thing."
So wicked and devious. She's definitely giving Pinocchio. And I feel like people keep speaking about like how she's really snatched back. But the reality is I don't.
She's a healthy baby girl. I've seen a lot of comments talking about Gypsy having a C-section, but she has never said that she had one. It's just a rumor. But here's the problem. An epidural means the birth wasn't natural. So why is Gypsy calling it that? And why is Julie, who's been trying to defend Gypsy, repeating this inaccurate information? It's moments like this that have left many fans questioning not only the validity of Gypsy's story, but also Julie's credibility as someone who's supposed to be advocating for her. This isn't the first time those defending Gypsy have found themselves caught in the web of her ever-changing narrative.
I feel like she really has. And this is no shade. We all have different body types, including me. And look, I'm not a fit mom, okay? But I feel like she looks sort of the same. Like she's saying active mom, but we know she's not. She's never been.
Every time someone tries to clear things up, they inadvertently end up spreading more misinformation, and it's all because Gypsy's story keeps shifting. The inconsistencies in her accounts have left fans and even some of her supporters feeling more confused than ever about what's really going on. Is Gypsy telling the truth, or is she weaving a web of lies for attention?
Like active. It's not like her, she gave birth and she has a six-pack and we like, oh, where did she, like, it's none of that, right? Like this picture, I feel like shows you like, it's not what people are thinking. Also, I want to...
With each new post and each new contradiction, the mystery deepens. The latest updates have done nothing but reignite those suspicions, and now the question on everyone's lips is, what's really going on with Gypsy Rose Blanchard? Grab your popcorn because the Gypsy Rose Blanchard drama just keeps getting juicier.
Say that what I do think is rather odd when it comes to this picture is her hair looks longer in this picture than the picture that she gave birth. Susan Mays said that to me and sent me a picture, and I want to show you guys the picture she sent. This right here. It's something odd. I don't know. I might be off. I might not. This is just, what I'm saying and what I'm saying to you.
Let's talk about how even those closest to her are getting caught up in the web of contradictions she's weaving. Take her mother, Kristy, for example. Kristy has repeatedly vouched for Gypsy, claiming to support her, but time and time again, her statements seem to clash with Gypsy's actions or other claims. And it's not just Kristy. Gypsy's close friends Mia and Bree have also fallen into the trap of trying to defend her, only to end up tangled in the web of conflicting details.
I'm not just gonna say like, oh, please blanket, please. That's brother's blanket, don't take it. It's cold. I know I can't just be like, oh, like, it's too expensive, he doesn't need to have a jacket. He needs a jacket, especially if it's 8 degrees outside. Oopsies. I think I'll just check out Kid the Kid. They had some cheaper ones a few weeks ago. Hopefully they're not gone, because if they are gone...
Even Gypsy's lawyers, the ones who are supposed to have her back, and her boyfriend Ken, are struggling to keep their stories straight amidst Gypsy's ever-changing narrative. It's almost as if every time Gypsy's story shifts, those around her are forced to shift their own stories to match, sometimes at the cost of their own credibility. This has created a ripple effect of confusion, and with each new contradiction, trust in the people supporting Gypsy starts to erode.
Nurse Hannah is back. The 17 Diapers mom has just posted for the first time in over a month, and it was this. It's a video where she does not say a word. She just sits in the car, gets her makeup on, and the caption said, "New year, new me." If you're not familiar with the situation, you can click my comment to go back and watch the full recap on exactly what Nurse...
Now, what's truly fascinating is how Gypsy herself doesn't seem fazed by all the doubt and confusion swirling around her. In fact, she continues to drop statements and updates that directly contradict what she said before, almost as if she's testing how much the public will buy into her shifting stories.
But I'm guessing most of the hate has died down in the last month, but she still does have her comments turned off. It'll be interesting to see if this is actually a new Hannah. Is she going to completely change her content and stay away from family vlogging? Or is she going to go back to her old ways and continue to post the way she was? As you know,
some are wondering whether these inconsistencies are deliberate attempts to manipulate the situation or just the result of sheer carelessness. Either way, it's hard to ignore that Gypsy is at the center of every controversy.
there was an active investigation open on Hannah due to all the complaints to Child Protective Services, but we will never find out what happened unless Hannah wants to share the details of that because everything is private. No matter what, she's back, whether it's a one-time post or it's going to be a continued thing. I will definitely keep you updated, so make sure you hit follow.
Pulling those around her into the chaos. The question now is, what's her game? Is it loyalty to her? Or maybe naivety on their part? Or is there something else going on?
People are very upset and shocked with how she returned to TikTok and not addressing any of the allegations. Just on December 16th, ABC News reported in an article that the Ogden, Utah Police Department had confirmed that there was an investigation underway and a detective.
As the timeline of contradictions grows, so does the intrigue. And then, of course, we're all still left with the biggest question of all. Was Gypsy actually pregnant, or is there more to this story than meets the eye?
Had been assigned to the case. This following multiple reports submitted to CPS. If you're not familiar with the entire Nurse Hannah situation, I have a playlist I will link to this video. Nurse Hannah is no stranger to controversy. She first went viral after posting.
The theories are swirling and they're getting wilder by the day. Some fans speculate that Gypsy may have used a surrogate, which could explain why she seems so confident showing off her postpartum body so soon after giving birth. Others believe that the baby may have been born earlier than claimed, which opens up a whole new can of worms, including questions about paternity. Could Ryan be the father?
Videos about her nursing job where she would talk about her patients in a not so good light. Also recently went viral again for having 17 dirty diapers laying around her house after having a newborn, which she was featured on the Tamron Hall show for.
These unanswered questions are fueling the debate, keeping Gypsy's pregnancy front and center in the gossip mill. So, what do you think? Was Gypsy really pregnant? Or is there a whole other story unfolding here? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, because this drama is far from over, and we'll be right here to keep you updated as it all unravels. Stay tuned for more juicy updates on Gypsy Rose Blanchard and all the chaos surrounding her ever-changing tale.